Welcome back to Marvel Live. I'm Langston.
I'm Angelique.
And I am here with the amazing Eliza Skinner, Jordan Morris, and Cristela Alonzo from the brand new podcast, Bubble, from MaximumFun.org. It's such an amazing concept. I have listened to a couple of snippets, and I'm very intrigued. So for our Marvel fans, please tell us about Bubble.
So it is. It's a sci-fi comedy podcast. Podcasts are usually chatting, people getting angry at each other about pop culture. This is a scripted thing. If you listen to the old Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxies, this is kind of a similar thing. It's
old-timey radio.
Old-timey radio, yes.
Old-timey radio.
Yes. Yeah, it's like an audio Buffy the Vampire Slayer with the whole kinds of new twists on it.
Yes.
Written by
I think
Jordan.
everyone watching is now sold. Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
You've done it more than I have.
So let's just talk about Ant-Man, huh? How about that post-credits teaser?
How much money are you getting from the Ant-Man team?
I got a T-shirt.
No,
Okay.
I think the great thing about it is that it's funny, but then there's also like this. There's beasts.
There are beasts.
There are beasts.
Yeah.
You know, there's a Marvel writer I kind of was reading a lot of while I was writing it. Kelly Thompson. She did Hawkeye for a while, and there's a specific collection, Anchor Points, that she did, and it has action. The action is serious. There's crazy stuff going on, but it is about a kind of a lone wolf character learning to need other people. It's so amazing, and I when I was writing, I'm like, can I make it like this? Can it be a quarter this good? So yeah, definitely I like the idea of balancing fighting and jokes and friendship and all that stuff.
So actually, what I like about the podcast is that I love sci-fi. It's very hard for me as a Latina to see myself represented in the sci-fi world. And I think that this is a great way to actually let me be part of the world and just show that it's really inclusive. We have a little bit of everything, and it just tells a story about strong people, strong women especially, which I think we were talking about how different that is.
It's a lot of great female characters. And cool male characters too, but all of them have kind of a new twist that I haven't seen before, and none of it feels like it's forced or like, look at this strong character. It's like, oh, they're cool people, but they're making interesting choices that I don't see other places.
Also, I think that first of all, Jordan is actually the creator-writer of the series, so he needs to be given a shout-out for that. But also, what I like about it is that it's not just comedy. So that's one of the things that we forget about comic books, about anything like sci-fi, even horror. The good stuff represents life, and life can be sad, it can be funny, it can be adventurous, or it can be boring. You know, and I think
there are several boring episodes, but it was just to be true to life. I'm like,
we really needed to do this for authenticity.
It's funny.
Characters go to Target a lot.
I like that.
I mean, that sounds like real life.
Yeah, it's a thing you got to do sometimes.
But I think one of the things that you kind of hit on was like this idea of having perspectives in a story and really talking about real life that makes people want to listen to good content and tell real stories. And so can y'all give us a little bit of an idea of who your characters are for those who are watching right now, who may be listening later?
My character is the roommate of the lead character, who's kind of a terrible slacker drug dealer, and very promiscuous and a real mess, which I think makes her super fun. She's a lot of fun. I'm very pleased with getting to play this character.
Yeah, we were actually told kind of ahead of time to keep this conversation PG, so you cannot repeat any of your lines on this live stream.
This is the podcast. This is the podcast. Talk about your character, but also talk about the world that this is, because it's such this really, you set up all these really cool rules for the universe these characters exist in.
My character is named Bonnie, and it's hard to describe her. I would want to say that she is the closest we have to a villain.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
without giving too much away.
It's a weird thing. Well, we're still unfolding the story, so I don't want to say too much. But what I like about her is that she's you always have that person that wants to monetize or just make the journey all about business.
Opportunity.
Absolutely.
There's opportunity everywhere you go.
What
She's
I like
the corporate villain.
Hey man.
The thinking is, what if Mark Zuckerberg was an evil woman with a robot suit?
Yes, that's actually that is what it is.
You can confirm robot suits are on this podcast.
Yes.
Without giving too much away.
What kind of podcast would we have if we didn't have mental robots?
mean, we didn't say what size. They could
true.
have. They could be
Oh,
tiny.
okay.
They could be big. You know, you assume a size with a
Y'all
robot
allows
suit.
you is more, just enough robot suits. Is it too much too many robot suits or just enough robot suits?
Just a right amount of robot
The
suits.
Three Bears conundrum
Three
comes
Bears.
back.
Can you have too many robots?
I doubt it.
No.
I doubt it.
I like the idea
Iron Man
of
would say no.
That's true, yeah.
I want to wear robot suits because sci-fi is always about tight jumpsuits, and I'm not there yet. So I want to start with robot suits, and then maybe down the line do the jumpsuit.
Sci-fi for the everyday woman.
I like that.
I know. Hey, are you a tomboy? Do you want to have some casual stuff while you're fighting?
Wash and wear sci-fi.
It's robot suit overalls.
Dress
Let's
it
do
up,
guys.
dress it
like
down.
This practical sci-fi.
I think you started. You can have a new endeavor right there.
You guys, I think this is.
Yeah.
I think
How's it going, guys?
We're
This
fundraising right after.
Your corporate villain's becoming less and less villain-like now.
I
I'm like,
know.
oh, all
It's
right.
not a villain. It's
That's
just
how I get them
opportunity.
in.
Well,
That's how I
maybe
get
the
them
men
in.
think she's a villain,
See,
whereas
there
the
we go.
women see opportunity.
Oh,
Good job,
yes.
guys.
Yeah. So,
Right on cue.
So all of you, many of you have a basis in comedy and improv. So what was that like, bringing those comedy chops and all of those skills into this podcast?
I think I think everybody here is a comic, but also an actor. So it wasn't exactly a big old riff session.
Yeah.
But I will say that basically every time someone online quotes me a line that they liked, it was something Eliza riffed. Which, yeah. So yeah, we allowed a little room for that because everybody is so good at that. But yeah.
I think all of us actually have been writers and performers, and so we respect the writer's work and don't want to just trample that. So I would try. My method is to try to execute the lines as well as possible, and then maybe add something at the end, so they can cut
That's
that
a
out
little
if they
funnier
want.
than what's in the script.
just add something, not change it. So you can cut it out if you don't want it, but if you want it, keep it in there. You can have that.
It's a little
So-
extra.
I actually, what I found interesting about doing this podcast is the last thing I did, I was in a Pixar movie where I was like
A little thing called a Pixar.
I don't know
If you guys have heard of this little startup.
Sorry guys, I need to pick up this name I dropped. But I was in Cars 3 last summer, and I was Cruz Ramirez, which is one of the leads. And I didn't realize that how much kids and families adore the world of Pixar and the stories. So when I had the opportunity to actually come in and play something completely different from that, I had to do it because I wanted to show that I'm not really a talking car, first of all.
Wait,
but
what?
Spoiler alert, guys. Spoiler alert. I wanted to bring the truth, and I think I said too much. But it was weird. It's weird to be able to play in an opposite world, opposite role, and just remind people that even people that seem nice and bubbly have that ability to be evil.
They
in
can throw
this
on a
world.
robot suit.
Yes,
And
girl,
be
you know it. We put on those robot
practical
suits like we mean
sci-fi
it. I'm just
right
like, yes.
I like all those bonding over robot suits and corporate opportunity.
Have you
What
showed
Comic-Con is all about.
Have you showed the Miss Marvel vans on camera yet?
Yes, I have.
God,
but
they're great.
I mean, if only I would show them again.
Oh,
I look
my.
a lot less cool. Yeah, I look a lot less cool standing next to her.
But I have Comic-Con on my feet, so let's not do that.
You can't set foot in Comic-Con without getting a little Comic-Con on your feet.
I mean, and taking Comic-Con with you. That's what it's all about.
See, on the
Speaking
go.
of taking Comic-Con with you and having Comic-Con on your feet, what's been your favorite moment of being
Yeah.
here in San Diego?
I just got here, so this is it.
This
You
is
guys,
it?
you
This is
guys,
it?
Oh,
this
really?
is yeah.
We've made it. We've made it.
We've made it. We've
made
done it. We did it, guys. We did it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
excited.
Best part of someone.
Day's over. We can go home now. Larissa, we're done.
I think for me, one of the highlights so far is actually just from coming inside and being part of the world that you grew up with, and actually getting to see different people that all come from different walks of
Yeah.
life coming together to share the same love for something that you grew up with. Because as a kid, I just thought I liked what I liked, but I didn't know that things like this existed. And to have the chance to come into it, it really feels like you're coming into a world of friends you already kind of knew.
And now we're
It's
all
your
friends.
people. It's your people. You
know,
walk in
you
and you're
guys,
like,
I mean,
Right?
I just like seeing a guy dressed as Thanos standing in line for a churro. It's just funny. It's just funny. funny. It's great.
Thanos needs to eat too.
Thanos loves churros.
Yes, well, you need to go. Y'all need to go get some churros and hang out with
Yes.
Thanos.
Oh,
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
Jordan,
you.
Cristela, Eliza, thank you so much, and make sure you check out Bubble.